Here is Sean Hannity. And, you know, there's a lot of people who are like, well, Flynn earned his pardon because Sidney Powell, his lawyer, has also been out there basically saying that there's been an entire coup, like saying the most bat crap crazy things. People don't understand. Like she was saying at one point, and this was like a couple of weeks ago, and she's just like progressed from here, that all the voting tallies went through a server in Germany.
Yeah.
And while she was reporting it, she was also saying our forces are taking over that server right now in Germany. And
her psychic forces.
Yes. Spoiler alert. That's not happening.
Mercury in retrograde, guys.
First of all, not only was the votes not going to a server in Germany and back, there was also no U.S. forces that were taking control of the server. I mean, and here's Sean Hannity, who is basically now pushing the whole pardon everybody thing. Now, the pardon for Flynn that Trump issued was the most sweeping pardon issued by a president for someone else since Ford did Nixon. And there's been multiple pardons since then. Iran-Contra. You had all the stuff with Scooter Libby. He was commuted, but there were others. I mean, there's been all sorts of other pardons that have taken place. This one is very broad because Flynn did so many things that were illegal, ranging from like being a paid agent of a foreign power while he was national security chief.
It seems so tame now.
It seems really tame. Like Turkey was negotiating a deal with him to kidnap a Turkish figure in exile, and bring him to Turkey while he was the national security chief of this country. That's a little messed up. Anyways, here is Sean Hannity arguing that Trump has to pardon everybody. Now, Trump can't pardon himself. He would actually have to work out some deal with Pence. Here is Sean Hannity trying to gin up, I guess, support on the right for it.
Anyway, one of the reasons that we got to this point, and this happened, is because of the diligent lawyering, hard work through a lot of difficult days. And I mean difficult, with a very, very stubborn judge that made no sense to me. Emmett Sullivan, in this case. Sidney Powell is the attorney for General Flynn. First of all, I'm very happy for the general, for his family. But 4 years of his life basically robbed from him. How are you, Sidney?
Well, we're good. Thank you, Sean. It's a very bittersweet situation. Of course, the relief of being out from under a wrongful criminal prosecution is huge, and we're very grateful to the president for the pardon. But at the same time, from the time I came in the case, I was determined to make the legal system work the way it should have to exonerate an innocent man. It would be nice if we had a, quote, criminal justice system, end quote, that actually worked in that fashion. But unfortunately, I'd estimate that 5 to 10% of our prison population right now is not guilty. But the system did not work as it should have to exonerate them, and we've got to do a better job of that. Not everybody can get a presidential pardon.
Well, that's a good point. And, you know, I watched Andrew Weissman come out and literally say, oh, Biden's AG needs to go after Donald Trump. And I'm like, the president out the door needs to pardon his whole family and himself because they want this witch hunt to go on in perpetuity. They're so full of rage and insanity against the president. I mean, can the president, I assume that the power of the pardon is absolute and that he should be able to pardon anybody.
I need to remind people that it was Sidney Powell's client, Michael Flynn, who led the cheer to lock up Hillary Clinton at the RNC. Like, you know, it's like
there's so full of rage on the left and blind hatred of the president.
This is like, it reminds me of like, why are you so angry? Why is the left so angry? That was the big thing in the aughts.
Or like when you slap somebody to get them to calm down. Like, no, calm down. You're slapping somebody.
But they also, like, what's so interesting about her argument is she's talking about how there's like no due process, and then immediately after they're like, he has to pardon himself before they put him through a due process.
Exactly.
Immediately.
Assume that the power of the pardon is absolute, and that he should be able to pardon anybody that he wants to.
It is absolute. It's in the Constitution. I don't know about his authority to pardon himself, but it should not be necessary. And aside from that, the president's going to get another 4 years in office to finish the job he started, because the election fraud we are uncovering is massive, and there were foreign actors involved in our system. People from Germany and Serbia and China were all in our election the night it happened. In fact,
I want to get into that with you in a second, but I want to just stay on Flynn for a second. I promise I want to hear.
I love that sound effect so much.
German, Serbian, Chinese. What else was there?
Venezuela, they left that one out.
Oh,
That Hugo Chavez was behind this.
right.
Posthumous, like from the grave.
Spectre.
Wait, it sounds like the global communist sort of conspiracies here, guys. We need to link up with it.
No, I'll tell you something. How lame is the global communist conspiracy that they give us Biden?
Yeah, really. And Nira Tandon, was she behind it the whole time? We had no idea.
Yeah, this is just the global communists. We're going to pretend like we're doing centrism, but Medicare for all is going to be done by February 1st, and we'll get the Green New Deal by March, and all the while, Joe will be talking about how he's reaching across the aisle.
Mm-hmm. It is. These guys are they're so light years ahead the way that they're doing this. It's so brilliant.
I think Sidney Powell's in love with Donald Trump.
What is good? He is, like, honestly, like, does she not have any family?
It's a little sad. I actually looked on her Wikipedia the other day. I think she is divorced. I don't know if she has children. I thought about that. I was like, this woman is obsessed with Donald Trump.
There is something, like, I just don't know
creepy. It's
if you can have that that level of shamelessness where you could say this stuff with a straight face, and she's repeating it all over the place. Unless
but they like live this. This is their last 4 years. They've put everything out there for it. This is their identity. How does someone let go of their identity so quickly? And now she's in the limelight, so she's been working at it, and now there's just a front, on every news network. Of course, she's going to double down, triple down.
I feel like Andy Kaufman sort of did some of this too, but he at least had the ability to go home and go like, that was hilarious.
I'm a comedian.
The same thing. I don't know.